Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is part two of the basis of religion. I'm going to be explaining how cosmic laws were derived and where they come from. Okay. Uh, Now, in that video that I talked about cosmic laws in, right? I started by saying that they were observations, all right, that previous people made, and it came to be true, known to be true, right, through observations. So pretty much cosmic laws are observations of truth or principles of nature. They're based off of these things, right? Okay, principles of nature and observations of truth are basically the same thing. Now what I mean by that is, okay, an observation of truth, right, of this reality would be seeing a child mimicking its parents, trying to walk like its parent or trying to talk like its parent. That's an observable truth, and it's a principle of nature that will always happen with a child and a parent. Even in the animal kingdom, that happens. So that's an observable truth and a principle of nature. That's what a principle of nature is, and an observable truth. And I said cosmic laws are based off of these things. That's because, okay, now to use the same example as watching a child mimic its parent, okay, you can come up with uh the cause of that is that the child watches the parent from birth and comes to know that it should copy what it sees in order to survive. Okay? Now, what I just said was dealing with, using things like cause and effect and reason. All right? So, that's how those things came to be observed from observable truths. You get what I'm saying? All right? Now, to get into the history a little bit of the cosmic laws. Uh, the cosmic laws are said to come from Egypt and were written down by a guy or a god named Thoth, and that's spelled Thoth, I think. All right, but in a little side tangent about Thoth, he wrote what some would say is the first creation story, and it's written on the Emerald tablets. All right, and that goes back way, way, way far. You know, I don't know because some say the Sumerian tablets or whatever was before that or something like that. But anyway, back to the topic. Okay, so these the cosmic laws were first observed by this guy named Thoth, and he wrote them down, and they were passed from that point. Okay, now what I just explained about principles of nature or whatever, that is where he got those laws from. All right, now uh okay, so that's where those laws come from. Cosmic laws are based off of principles of nature, which are observable truths in our reality. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through each law and explain what they mean to our reality, or to, through from my understanding of what they mean. Okay, and the first one is mentalism. And there's like four different definitions of this, and I'm going to use probably maybe two or one of them. And the one that I want to use is a philosophy definition, and it says mind and mental state exists as casual, efficacious inner states of the person. All right, so that's like saying that the mind is, the true reality, and the objects exist only as aspects of the mind's awareness. All right, and so what that means, I'm not in agreement with all of that definition, okay? Because that's basically saying that what you see in front of you is only, you know, a perception of the mind that you've come to understand as reality, so to say, right? Like that's what they're saying, that this reality is all in your mind, and that, you conceptualize this inside. Somewhat that's true. I'm not in full agreement with this. And the part that I'm not agreeing with is it doesn't explain how a person will come to that perception. All right. So Here's how that happens. Here's what I'm viewing as mentalism. Uh, okay. In this reality, there are two different realities, right? Now, what I mean by that is that there's the shared reality and the perceived reality. All right. The shared or common reality is, the observable world around us. That's, grass, the sky, trees. All right. We all know that that's here. Okay. That's the shared or common reality. Now, the perceived reality is based off of the shared reality, and it's from the individual persons. Okay. Now, what I mean is, like, okay, let's say that you're out with like your dad somewhere when you're a younger child, and he sees a specific color and he calls that specific color a thing, right? A certain name. And so now years later, you're with someone and they see that same color and they give that color a name different from what you know. And you immediately say, no, that's not what that's called. It's called this and that. Okay. The reason why you said that that is what that color was called is based off of your own reality, your own experience, what you've experienced. You then, put that back out into the shared reality. So this is how two different realities exist. One, the common reality, and two, the perceived reality. Your definition of things and how you feel about things comes from the shared reality, and then you internalize that and put that back out. All right. So that is mentalism to me. Now, all things in this reality do this in a different kind of way. I'm not saying that everything can like think like a human, all right? But when you put this onto nature, you see how, you know, flowers produce pollen, and this pollen helps these bees and this and that. So you see constantly other things taking in things and putting them back out in a specific way that will, add to the common reality and, you know, the basic overall thing here. Okay? So that's how mentalism operates in our reality, right? Okay, and the second one, correspondence. And there's like four definitions of that too, and I'm not finna read all of them. So let me see. Okay, what I'm going to get into and what I'm going to explain about correspondence is the second definition, and that's similarity. Okay, now with correspondence, that is to say that all things kind of resonate with each other in a way to produce something new. Okay, that is a definite. Everything does that. Okay, everything does that. And I don't think I need to use an example of how one something resonates with another something to make something else. That's just like a man and a woman making a baby. That's an example of that, right? An even deeper example, you have electrons and protons orbiting around, the nucleus of this atom that is producing a shell around it. So you see what I'm saying? This kind of correspondence is a definite in our reality, right? It's observable no matter how big, no matter how small things are. All right. And that reminds me, I talked about talk earlier, right? There's this saying that he's known for also that really kind of covers philosophy, and that is as above, so below, so within, so without. Right now, what that means is that no matter how big something is, there will always be it will always be part of something bigger, and that something bigger will always be part of something smaller, which kind of that makes a lot of sense. There's something to think about. All right. But I just thought I would say that right now while I was talking about these cosmic laws. All right. Now, okay, polarity, right? And there's four definitions of this too. Like, damn, I should have just wrote one. I'm gonna look at the third definition I have wrote down, and it is the possession or manifestation of two opposing attributes, tendencies, or principles. Okay. Now with polarity, that's like everything has, a top and a bottom, and it's connected. It's two different points, but it's part of the same thing, right? That is reflected throughout reality as well. There will always be, a north and a south, and that north and the south is always connected. You see what I'm saying? Polarity will always exist. That's a concrete in this world as well, or in this reality, I should say, not world. All right, so that's an example of polarity. All right. Another example of polarity would be good and bad. All right. Good and bad are part of this same reality, even though they might be on opposite ends of the spectrum. Okay. And depend on point of view and such. All right. That's another example of polarity in our reality. All right. So the fourth is gender. Okay. Now, in the last video, I was like, I'm not going to explain gender. You should know that. All right. Well, I'm changing my mind, okay? So, gender is things like positive and negative, boy and girl, obviously, which is like the bigger one that everybody's gonna know, all right? There are things like boy and girl, positive and negative, good and bad, all right? Top and bottom. These kinds of things is a definite also in this reality, right? Now I have a whole another philosophy on gender and where that comes from, okay, and how that's a definite, but that will be in later videos, so look forward to that. All right, but that's what I mean when I say gender and how it's continuous throughout reality. Okay, five is rhythm, all right, and it's one definition for this one, and it's a movement marked by the regulated succession of strong and weak elements or of opposite or different conditions. It may also refer to visual presentation as time movement through space. Okay, now how rhythm is a constant, as I said in the last video, everything has a frequency. All right, light, colors, everything has a frequency, and a frequency is basically a measurement of a wave. All right, and that wave has specific points where it goes up and down, up and down. You see what I'm saying? Kind of like you know, an oscillating current or whatever, right? It has points where it goes up and down, up and down. Those up and down points are the rhythm. It's how fast that frequency is going. If you get what I'm saying, right? That is a rhythm. That's basically how rhythm is throughout this world. Okay. Six is vibration. Now, vibrations is similar to rhythm, but it's not. All right. Well, duh, it's not. All right. Vibrations are more so felt. All right. And here's the definition of that: mechanical oscillations about an equilibrium or point. All right. So I'm in agreement with that. Okay. Mechanical vibration is part of our reality. All right. You make your own frequency as anything else makes its frequency. And when your frequency meets another frequency, it produces a vibration, which is how you experience that thing. Okay? Now, that might sound a little left field or confusing, but there will be videos about that, right? Okay, and the seventh is cause and effect. I'm pretty sure I don't have to explain cause and effect, right? But I'm gonna read the definition, and that's action or event will produce a response to the action in the form of another event. All right, I'm pretty sure everybody that watch these videos know what cause and effect is. I don't need to explain it. Okay, so I felt the need to go over each law and how they deal with reality so that you can get a more concrete view of how these things actually do exist. Okay, now to go over human nature. All right, now human nature derives from nature itself, so it's no way I could say, the nature of reasoning comes from, cause and effect. All right, because that's kind of, it can loop around and go either way. Cause and effect can cause reasoning in a human, or reasoning in a human can cause the cause and effect. So it's a flip flop kind of deal here with that. But human natures in general comes from the experience of reality. Okay, it's your experience that shapes, your reasoning and logic to make the kind of person you become. Okay, that's the importance of human nature combining with, you know, observable truths to make, certain things like cosmic laws. All right. So that's why human nature is key, and understanding that is important. All right. And so now the third thing that I want to go over there in this video, which is very important, is the observable truths part. Okay. Now, observable truths are key to, understanding human nature and the laws that I explained. And the reason why observable truths are important is because something that is observable to everybody cannot be debated, right? If there's this saying that I say, there is no falseness in the truth, but there is truth always in falseness. So when you come to, explaining the truth, or, you come to explaining observable truths, that's not up for debate. You can't say like the sky doesn't exist when it's obvious that there's a sky, right? Like, you can't debate that. You can come from a different point of view about, why there's a sky, but you can't say that there's not one because it's an observable truth. So that's why I felt the need to connect observable truths to cosmic laws and to human nature, because is something that's not debatable. That's not up for debate. You see what I'm saying? You can only come from a different perspective, but you can't say that, these laws don't exist, or that human nature is just a figment of your imagination. You know what I'm saying? You can't really say these things because they're observable truths. You can see these, all right? And so that's why I felt the need to, include things like observable truths in the basis of religion videos, okay? And so my next video will be a vlog about the basis of religion, you know. Now, the basis of religion, this is not going over everything that religion is structured on, okay? This is just, a first step in understanding religion and what it's, structured about. Now the reason why I said that, because I don't want people to think like, the basis of religion is just this, and this, because religion is way more complex than that. That's basically what I wanted to cover in these videos. There will be a vlog coming out where I will express my views on religion and what I was trying to convey through these videos, all right? Which I feel is important that I do, So you guys look forward to that, and thanks for watching. All right, and my next video will be out soon. All right, peace.